Yes guys, and welcome back to the FK Sports channel. So as you can see boys, we're in the new FK Sports studio. I've shown this to you boys in the stream the last couple of days as well, and as you can see, you've got the TV behind me, which is going to show any player that we talk about in these videos, any news or whatever we have, whatever I'm talking about at that point, that'll be on the TV. You've Old Trafford in the background there, as you can see, behind the curtain there. Every video I shoot in this channel now will be in this studio, so I'm so excited to have it finally on it, and I hope you boys enjoy it, man. Today's video, we're going to be going through 5 of the top transfers that have happened this summer so far. Obviously, any transfer that we discussed in this video, make sure you get your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to smash a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's jump in, boys. Just like that, Mason Mount, as you can see on the screen, pops out on the TV like magic. First player we're going to talk about, obviously Mason Mount, Manchester United, new signing. Played his debut yesterday, obviously, in the tour game. I'm very, very happy with this signing so far. I've said in the streams to you boys a little bit that I do think we overpaid slightly on him. I mean, with Manchester United, people know that we're going to overpay. 55 million with 5 million add-ons is the price we got him for. Whilst I think we overpaid for him, I mean, I still think over the time we've got him on a 5-year contract, that if he's anything the player that I think he can be for us, and the Ten Hag thinks he can be for us, I certainly think it'll be money well spent. Obviously, we played our first game on the tour yesterday in Oslo, in Norway, and he didn't do anything crazy, but he was a steady performer in yesterday's game. Probably about a 6.5, 7 out of 10 I'd give him. He played well, and showed glimpses of his quality in that game as well. So, yeah, I'm excited for the signing. As I say, it's a player we needed. Overall, I'm really happy with this deal. I really, really am. It's a player we needed. As I say, Eriksen, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Eriksen this season. Will he be phased out of the team a little bit? Because Mount's kind of that player. He's a Ten Hag player. He's that high energy presser that the modern style of Ten Hag's football he wants to basically see, right? And Mount will give him that. And he's a bit more. Fred give us that high energy, but Fred can be very wasteful on the ball, and Mount looks after it a lot better when he's in possession. Then, as I say, it's that thing that stands out to Ten Hag. It's the off the ball movement, off the ball pressing, all that kind of thing that he offers you, man. If we're going to line up like we did last season with kind of that, the 2 with the 3 and then the 1, if we're going to line up in that 4-2-3-1 last year like we kind of did, or the 4-3-3 with kind of, you've Casemiro, Eriksen we used last season for a lot of the season, and obviously Bruno. This season, potentially, if we keep that lineup, we could obviously have Mount in place for Eriksen, so it would be Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno. I think that'll work well. I mean, it won't work against everybody. Obviously, when we go to Man City, we go to Liverpool, we go to the top 6 games, will you want to play, a Mount? Because as much as Mount, can do a job defensively and put a shift in for you, obviously he is more of an attacking player, right? Mount, a player we needed. I firmly believe that. And he's the type of player we need in that midfield. And yeah, let's hope he can do well this season for us. So we move from Manchester United to Manchester City next. The blue side of Manchester. We've got Kovacic from Chelsea to Manchester City. I think this just shows Man City being a competent club. We know Kovacic. Chelsea have obviously had an awful season. Last season, finishing 12th in the league. They've no European football this season, and their club is kind of, obviously they have brought Pochettino in. Be interesting to see what signings they bring in this summer and see what way they kind of react, I guess, next season. Kovacic is a player that I've always rated ever since he left Madrid, went to Chelsea, and he's similar to mine. He's a very, very high energy player, kind of box to box. He can do a bit of everything, really. Kovacic can. I think with the fact that Manchester City have went and signed him, it just shows you again, they've got backup after backup after backup. It just shows the depth of their squad. Man City, Man City have just won a treble. They're fresh winning a treble, and they're not easing on their laurels, are they? They're literally going back out there and bringing in more and more strength and depth is what they're doing. Kovacic is a top quality player. He probably won't start from every week. I mean, obviously Rodri's a mainstay in that. He's like the rock in that CDM, in that CDM position for them. And then obviously they've got De Bruyne. Obviously, when he's fit, he's obviously straight in the squad. So, obviously, it is tough to get into that City midfield with all the quality they've got. I mean, Gundogan leaves the club this summer, and then they bring in Kovacic. It's a very, very able replacement, isn't it? It just shows the modern way of negotiating these days. Big clubs that are actually competent, unlike United and our stupid negotiations, competent clubs like a Man City will go in, and if they've a weakness in their squad, or a weaker area, I guess you could say, for Man City, or something that needs replacing, or someone that's left, like Gundogan, and needs replacing, they bring it in near enough straight away, man. As I say, Kovacic this summer to Manchester City. I think that's a good deal for City. Good business again. Just strengthen their squad further and further and further. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you boys think of that signing. Next up, Sandro Tonali to Newcastle United. Obviously, I've seen a bit of rumours going around that this signing, I've seen him walking around St James's Park in the changing rooms, and people are kind of rumouring that he's maybe not too happy that he's in Newcastle. People saying that he maybe still wants to be back at AC Milan. But it goes without saying, if Newcastle can get the best out of this player, obviously Newcastle are an upcoming club in terms of, they're obviously a massive club, but they're an upcoming club in terms of, they've obviously got Champions League football secured for the season ahead. They're obviously trying to add both quality and depth into their squad because they're going to be playing more games this year, but also obviously they're trying to improve the quality ongoing every single season because they're obviously aiming for, they're aiming for the league in the next couple of seasons, aren't they? I mean, the amount of money the budget they've got and the money they're pumping in, the league's got to be their kind of goal in the next 4 or 5 years. Got to be, right? But I think one thing I would say about Newcastle, they're spending smart. They're not just going buying anyone. They're buying players that take them up a level each time rather than going from 0 to 100 really, really quick. They're taking their time with it. I think that's the best way to do it. This Tonali signing is a smart deal, as I say. Hopefully for Newcastle fans, he actually wants to be at your club, hopefully, because you don't want a player that doesn't want to play for you. I've seen him in international games playing for Italy, and he's a very, very good player. Holding midfielder. I think he can play as a box-to-box as well, but he is more of a holder, I think. And yeah, as I say, smart deal for Newcastle. Let me know in the comments what you boys think, especially if you're a Newcastle fan. Let me know all about what's this saga about him not wanting to be there, because I've heard a wee bit of rumour about it. Let me know, is that true, or is that just, people putting news out there, fake news out there? Let me know. But yeah, hopefully he wants to be at Newcastle, and if you can get anywhere near the best out of him, he'd be a very, very good asset to Newcastle this season. Next up then is Jude Bellingham to Real Madrid. We couldn't do a summer transfer video so far and not talk about Jude Bellingham. Obviously, kind of the big deal of the summer transfer window so far. Obviously, from Dortmund to Real Madrid. This player, I mean, he's probably my favourite player in world football, non-United, So obviously I'm a United fan, but if you boys ask me, what's your favourite player, Jack, apart from being a United player, Jude Bellingham would certainly be that, or at least be one of my top 3 at least. Every time I see him play, man, he just plays with such maturity on the ball, and he's just, the way he speaks as well, he's just such a well-rounded player, both on the pitch, but then he's so well-grounded, I guess you could say. Well-grounded off the pitch, he speaks so well, and obviously he just speaks above his years, and then see him on the pitch, he just plays with such maturity and confidence and experience that, experience that to be fair, he started his career very young at 16, obviously playing for Birmingham, so he has had a good few years now of experience, you could say, but he's still only, 19, 20, so, yeah, man, what a player, what a career ahead of him he's got, and Real Madrid, I mean, yet again, a bit like I said earlier, I mean, they think ahead, yet again, all competent modern clubs do, man, that's the way forward, you need to think ahead. If your players are aging, you're going to need a replacement, you got to get players in. They've brought in, they brought in a batch of midfielders, I think it was last summer or the summer before, like Tonali, Camavinga. They brought in someone else, I forgot his name, but yeah, they always, I mean, obviously they know, they've had Kroos, they've had Modric there for years. They aren't getting any younger, of course, and they're going to be probably leaving very, very soon in the next year or two, so, to bring in a Bellingham, who's that next generation of midfielder, and then obviously they've got people like Camavinga who can play a multitude of roles, left back in the midfield as well, and the same with Tonali, who they've brought in, and they will bring in more. That just shows depth again, that they're not going to wait for it, because that's what United would do. We would wait for the players to leave and then try and scramble a deal around. Whereas competent clubs like Madrid, like City, as I say, like City, like I mentioned earlier, Madrid do exactly the same, and they bring in Bellingham, man, another top midfielder who will bolster that squad going into the new season. Let me know your thoughts on the Bellingham deal in the comments. The final player then for today that we're going to be talking about, boys, is Dominik Szoboszlai, new signing for Liverpool. I'm not going to lie, I don't know loads about this player. I've seen him playing international football before. I've seen him in the Champions League playing for Leipzig. He seems a good player. He's attacking midfielder, isn't he? Yeah, as I say, obviously, Liverpool have a good business so far this summer, man. They've obviously brought in this Szoboszlai. They've brought in McAllister from Brighton already on a really, really good deal. I think 37 million or something that was, or 35 million. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that one, but yeah, good business again for Liverpool. I think he adds another player, another more strength and depth to their squad. And obviously Liverpool, like Chelsea I mentioned earlier, they need to rebound this season, right? It's all about the reaction this season. Obviously they had a poor season last season, finishing 5th, missing out in the Champions League place. Liverpool have a big season ahead. I've predicted already that I think they will get back atop, they will get back into the top 4 this season, but yeah, that's my prediction. As I say, players like Szoboszlai will certainly help that, you would imagine. Szoboszlai, as I say, without knowing loads about the player, I've seen him play in a few different games over the last couple of years in Champions League and in international football, and yeah, he seems a good player, man. So it'll be interesting to see how he adapts to the Prem, how he fits into that Liverpool team. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to say I wish him well, but I don't, because I'm a United fan. So I don't want to see him do well. Hopefully he's an absolute flop of a signing. But let me know in the comments what you boys think. If you have enjoyed today's video, boys, don't forget to smash that like button for me. Hit the subscribe if you've just found the channel. We've got all these this is obviously our new studio for the season ahead. We've got watch-alongs, so obviously more and more videos like this over the transfer window. We'll be doing transfer videos, talking about different deals, getting my thoughts, getting your boys' thoughts in the comments. Obviously, as I say, loads of different football content. We'll be doing our Premier League predictions not too far away. I mean, it's probably another month, but it'll creep up on us very, very quickly. So I'll be doing my Premier League predictions on this channel. And also, football watch-alongs, live streams on this channel from the new season ahead. A mixture of, Champions League games and obviously a lot of different Premier League games also. Thanks so much for watching, boys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.